something. So, um, what to do? Yeah, now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's recording now.
Okay. So, Rachel, how do you like to? I wanna say some rules. So, I will ask you questions where you have to pick from two choices. Uh, don't pick both. Mm, you'd better find what is closer to you, or how you act like more oftenly. Mm, Also, I will um, ask. Sometimes I will ask again, or I will ask you to explain what you're saying. And sometimes, if you don't know what to answer, we can just skip the question.
Okay.
So, how do you like to act? By the plan or by the situation?
By the situation.
Do you feel some discomfort when the plan changes?
No.
Okay. Uh, do you like to decide what to do in the last moment? Because in the last moment you see the whole picture, like more comprehensive.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, how do you feel like? Like an extrovert or an introvert?
Um, when I'm not happy or I'm uncomfortable, I don't want to be around people at all. But generally, when I'm feeling good and don't have any physical problems to deal with, then I like to engage with people. So that would be extroverted.
Okay, and when you feel not good, you don't like to be even with the close people, or close people, they're okay.
Close people are okay, but that would be the only thing I would
Mm,
be okay with.
okay. Um, you know, this scene, I don't know how is it in English. Don't remember, like music box or like jolly box, jelly box. I don't know, like jukebox, like
Oh,
small.
a jukebox.
Can it be small box, like a small old box that opens and some steams spinning there and it makes music? Is it
That's a
jukebox?
music box.
Music box,
Music
yeah,
box,
yeah.
yeah.
And how do you call the thing where you put jewelry, like box for
A
jewelry?
jewelry box.
Jewelry box. In Russian, this is the same word,
Mm.
and I just ask people. Imagine it's called шкатулка in Russian. Just
Okay.
imagine шкатулка, and it's interesting what people say about this box that everyone can understand by his like he like. Oh, you understand what I say.
Yeah.
um, but let's try in English this way. Imagine the box.
Hmm.
What do you see? What do you imagine? Describe it.
It's made out of like a dark mahogany wood with pink felt inside, and there's a ballerina spinning around, and like the metal pieces behind spinning. And the drawers are a little bit open with some pearls and jewels on strings hanging out.
Mhm. Wow, it should be beautiful. Uh, you said that there was spinning and ballerina. Um, do you imagine it in motion?
Hmm.
Uh, is it permanently in motion when you imagine it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you stop?
Yeah.
And when it is in motion, can I say that? Do you know what is frame per second in video games?
Yeah.
Uh, can you say that it has low FPS or it it looks okay like continuous changing continuous consistent changing no low FPS?
It looks like a continuous
Okay.
motion.
Your answer was uh, exactly and strong like dynamic. Is it dynamic or dynamic? Mm,
Dynamic.
like dynamic type. Mm, but the first two answers was like you irrational extroverted, and all irrational ex extroverts are static.
Oh.
That's interesting. But these dichotomies they don't work 100% because probably we don't understand it uh, deeply, or people just mm, like adopt and get used to think a little different, or maybe you just in this mood now. I don't know,
Okay.
but uh, in my practice, they work like 55%, 90, like this, and I almost always have two or three answers they that don't belong to type, but the whole image fits.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, what do you see first, positive side or the negative side?
Um, I think that I usually see what's wrong with something or why it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, do you feel important to mention uh, what is absent, what has a lack in situation?
Yeah.
Okay. What's more important for you, process or the result?
Result.
Result. Okay. And um, can you say that when you remember some situations, uh, you look on the result of the situations, not how they went?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Mm, when someone speaks to you, what do you like perceive first? The emotional side of speech or the mm, as I see, you don't have the word constructive for this meaning, like the logical part of speech. Can you say that it's constructive part?
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, you say in English.
I don't think I've heard people say that, but it makes sense.
Okay, because we say it like this. We have this Anglicism. It's constructive in Russian, and we say it speak in case constructive, like give me constructive. So, what do you see first, emotional side or constructive side?
I think the tone of what's being said is what I notice first.
Mm-hmm.
So the emotional
Mm-hmm.
side.
And when you are speaking, what are you aimed at to make the emotional atmosphere around, to cheer everybody up, or maybe to show your mood, or you wanna show, or you wanna say something in case, what to do, or maybe how it works, or maybe why it is going here, or maybe give some judgment, like statement. What's more preferable for you? Not preferable, like easy and automatic? What are you aimed at?
Um, I feel like that depends on what's going on. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
it always
times
depends
when,
on.
yeah,
Uh,
I like clear communication. Um, but I do try not to uh, say things in a way that I think will be offensive, unless I feel like I've realized that that part has become a hindrance to the person understanding what I'm
hinder?
saying. Like saying it nicely is preventing them from understanding what I'm trying to say, then
Mhm.
I will stop saying it nicely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's interesting because when I asked you about constructive or emotional side, you start to talk about like this of offense stuff,
Hmm.
and it relates to relationships, and I think it's more ethical what
Okay.
you are saying, because that's what you are aimed to make relations, not to make bad relations, and mm, that's what you answered.
Hmm.
That's by the way, that fits to your uh, previous answers. Mm.
Okay.
If you are irrational extrovert, uh, and you are you receive emotional side first, that means you are an emotivist. So you would have um, creative FI, and creative function, it is related to speech. Um, Everybody speak a lot about their creative function theme.
Mm.
So when I asked you about your speech, you answered me uh, in the theme that is related to your creative.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's okay. Uh, uh, uh. How can you estimate, not estimate, evaluate uh, your prognosis skill, like to see um, like foresight, like I don't yeah, you get what I ask.
I don't know if I do.
Okay, like predict, like like to see how the things go to the future, and what will happen.
Oh, okay. How good do I think I am at seeing how things are going to go?
Yeah.
That depends. I guess I think I'm pretty good at evaluating how
What?
I think I'm pretty good at evaluating like how sort of social dynamics are gonna play out
Hmm.
sometimes. But I can't really think of another situation to apply that to, really. I or well, maybe like no, that doesn't count. Never mind.
Hmm. Okay, I see. Um, uh, how do you feel when someone talks, s- like means says, that you are heading in the wrong way, that what you're doing uh, has no prospect, has no sense, and you should do another thing. It's more, it has more potential.
I would think that person would be very stupid to think they would be better at evaluating what would make me happy than I am, and I wouldn't care about their opinion.
Okay. Um, how how do you like to set goals? I'll explain you two strategies now. The first strategy is you set one big, no, not exactly one, but you set a big goal, and then you try to choose which way to, like, how it is to get there.
Okay.
Um, the second strategy is that you are easy to choose what to do now. It's not hard for you, like in first strategy. Uh, and it's easy for you because you know that you are on your way, and you know where your way headed, but you don't exactly, like, certainly know um, your goal, your, like, in details. It can change, or maybe you can choose another goal, but you are still on your way, and every time you are easy to choose what you need now, like your local needs, and you're not, and it's harder for you to speak, to not to speak, to think about like global strategic needs and goals.
That's hard. I related to both of them in part, but my goals do tend to change a lot. Um, and I make my decisions more in the moment. So I guess the second one probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's easy for you to choose in the moment, yeah?
Yeah.
And um, yeah, okay. Oh, hello, Scott. I've seen you. Uh, what's next? What's next? What's more important for you? Uh, the discussion of what you are going to do, and choosing the most potential possibility from a variety of possibilities, or the realization and, like, in time realization of what you want to do. Realize, you don't get it, yeah? Realization. I mean, like, mm, realization is when you make things real. You have goal and you make it real. This is realization.
Okay. And the
That's
other
what I call realization. We have this word in Russian.
okay. So
So what's
that
my,
was this the first. Can you give me the first one again? I'm sorry.
of course, first one, uh, you like to be in comfort, to discuss the possibilities, and you don't want to lose a possibility. That's why you uh, discuss it a lot and choose.
Oh, the first one then.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Mm, do you like to, like, that's not a plan? Oh no, I can't ask it in English. Oh, can you say that you relate to, mm, you subconsciously relate to people uh, basing on the groups they are involved? Or the second choice is that you search for exclusivity in people, like what differs them with their groups and the other groups, like exclusivity. 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 It's exclusivity.
Mm. Well, I like it when people seem like they're being very true to themselves and not trying to fit into some kind of group.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know if that means that I don't
Mm-hmm.
see the groups or anything like that. I don't know.
That's not like mm, I'll tell you how it works. Uh, this is two thinking strategies. One thinking strategy seeks for exclusivity, and that's just what you think about how this one differs from another one. And the first that was the second strategy. The first strategy is strategy to think like, oh, he is a member of that group. He has this trait as because everybody from that group has this trait. That don't mean this doesn't mean that uh, a man should fit in group or not fit in group and this soc- society stuff, social stuff.
Mm.
That's just about traits that included in a man who is involved in a group, and that's what aristocrats think of.
Um,
Do
hmm.
you feel like this?
Well, I can tell you that when I see people who have like Confederate flags on their things, that
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to be very far away from those people. Because I haven't seen very many positive qualities associated with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get it. Okay, but uh, can you say that uh, it happens to you like not rare to think like this, not about the Confederates, about anything in this way?
That's such an awkward question.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. You're just doing what you're supposed to do, but I feel like if I say yes to that, then I'm like being racist or something. Um,
Ah, no, I didn't mean anything like that.
but groups, I guess there are traits that I associate with things like when I meet someone and they say that they're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, then I will think of all the other people that I know who play that, and then I'll think of how the characteristics that I liked about them, and then maybe expect that sort of same sort of thing with the new person.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Uh, okay, so do you feel like excited or motivated when someone helps you mm, with what to do question. I mean, you don't know what to do, and someone helps you. Do you feel excited from it?
Yeah,
And if he tells you how to do it more efficiently, it will be more exciteful.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, um, do you feel like you aimed when you interact with people? you wanted to share some energy and to motivate, or maybe to take some energy, like you need some motivation and you can lead to this. What I'm saying, I mean, is motivation or energy giving emotional energy is what you are headed at in interactions.
I think so.
You like to motivate people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So far, we certainly know that you are either SEE or IEE because you answered now about um, motivational mobilizing function, and that you are seeking for motivation is a lot like four-dimensional FE. Four-dimensional FE, so they like to motivate themselves and another. Let's and by the way, by the dichotomies, you also answered, not also, you just answered like IEE. You what differs between them? That's IEE is negativist, IEE is tactic. That's how you pick your goals. Easy to choose local needs and uh, far goals they can change. Uh, IEE is aristocrat, and SEE is Democrat. IEE likes to discuss and choose the possibilities. SEE doesn't like to waste his time, and if he have a possibility, he wants to make it real, not wasting time and picking another possibility.
Oh.
And also, my third question was, do you like to decide in the last moment? And that makes a lot like ignoring an I. Ignoring an I means that you are reckless. That's one of dichotomy. Reckless and, oh, I don't remember the second pole of this dichotomy in English. I have ignoring an I, and I know how it works. When you're searching for possibilities, and you know that every new possibility can change everything. That's why you wanna decide in last moment when you see all the possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, when I asked you about people who tell you about your directions and prospects, and you said that you are confident in this theme and about theme what will happen in social stuff. That you know, everybody can say that. No, not everybody, but not only IEE, but that kind of looks like ignoring an I as well.
Okay.
Because ignoring function, it likes to make decisions by its own, or like how it works, like grant the right of making the decision. I mean, if we wanna call tomorrow, I'll ask you, what time do you wanna call? And you say 5 o'clock. Okay, that's okay for me. 5 o'clock. My ignoring, and I didn't want to think about time, and I just
Yeah.
granted you the right to decide. But if I uh, already decided for myself that I'm headed in that direction, that it has prospect, and someone tells me that it hasn't, my ignoring will ignore him and something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like disturbing uh, from what I'm doing. Why do you disturb me and make me feel like
Yeah.
uh, let's speak about sensorics elements. Um, do you like to like manifest your will, like influence on people?
No.
No, right?
No. I find that it's necessary sometimes
Mm-hmm.
to avoid more unpleasant things,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to have my energy preoccupied with trying to make people do things that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, that word necessary, it relates to the semantics of superego block in Model A. Um, in Russian, we use like one word description of these blocks. I just don't know. Do you use it or not? And for the block superego, the word is no. It translates like it needs to be like it needs to. And what you said necessary, it means like it needs for you to use your will.
Mm.
And it describes superego block when you use superego when it needs to be used and you don't like to use it not rapidly, often.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
And let's speak about SI. Uh, do you feel confident in this um, in your oh, I forgot all the words. Hmm. In your body feeling. Yeah. Mm,
Um, so not really.
why?
Uh, well, okay, so ever since I was a kid, I was like trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I read a lot about different philosophies on health and nutrition and visited alternative health food stores and like different healing sorts of things, um, trying to figure out what was wrong with me because I'm I struggle with making myself feel like nothing is bothering me or that I have really good energy sometimes. So when I find something that I really feel works, then I kind of get stuck on that, like eating the same food over and over and over and over because I know I won't feel really horrible if I eat that food, and then like eventually I just get sick of it. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah, I just didn't get why did you try to find what's wrong?
Because I felt like everybody else had more energy, or like they just didn't seem to be feeling uncomfortable a lot of the time, and I felt
Like
uncomfortable
exhausted all the
physically.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I had the same. I was 17 when I realized it. That I always want to sleep.
Mm.
Uh, um, do you know the word narcolepsy?
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just realized that I'm always wanted to sleep, and when I was 18, I went to work, and it was so horrible for me to wake up in 10 o'clock. Uh,
Mm.
I just can't. I woke up in 10 o'clock. I went to the work. It was in the like adjusted building. Yeah, can I say that?
What
Adjusted,
was
like
just?
adjusted,
Oh, adjusted. Okay.
like neighbor building.
Okay.
And then I sit there and I wanted to sleep. I want to sleep. I even may fall asleep there.
Yeah.
Not for long but I've tried and yeah. Then I realized a lot about health.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You as well.
Yeah.
We talked about it a lot. Not a lot. A little. Um. Mhm. 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 So you kind of don't feel a lot of power in yourself.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, um, I've noticed that SE ego types like what are they? LSI, SLE, ESI, SEE.
Mm-hmm.
They oftenly have strong body and developed muscles,
Mm.
and I don't know how they get it. They just have it, and I have my friend LSI. Uh, he says that he was like master of swimming sports. No, candidate for master. Like
Wow.
very cool swimmer, and
Yeah.
he don't trains for 2 years, and he has these really big muscles. Not really big. He look like thin, but if you look at his muscles, they're really not small.
Mm.
They exist, and uh, he doesn't train at all, but he has the muscles. I think it somehow connected with SE in Ego Block.
That's interesting.
And we, uh, NE, Ego Block. I think you are an IE. I've we I've met a lot of NE Ego Block types that have uh, like this healthy problems or just kind of weakness. And these LAIs that like this.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Okay, let's move on. About more about site. Um, do you feel like you um, it's it's hard to concentrate and pay attention to what you need or the aesthetics part of your apartment, for example, or the providing clean cleanness in your room.
Mm.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, and or for example, another question about SI. Uh, when you go shopping for clothes. Uh, do you like when people advise you, or you make your own choices and you can advise other? Like, why you are you advising me? I can advise you. I know what is beauty.
Oh, I guess that's kind of a mixture for me because I feel like every time I go do that, it's like an experiment. Like I have no idea what I'm going to like, and I won't know until I try it on and I see it. Um, I do enjoy doing that with other people, like to see different ways that they can look. So I wouldn't say that I fully agree with either of those. When I was younger, though, it was like a source of anxiety, and I just wore all black for the most part because I didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I do remember one time somebody took me shopping and picked out all my clothes for me, and I really liked it. I was like 19 then, though. I don't think I would. I mean, I would be open to that now, but I have I like to explore that myself too. So,
Mm, I see. No, when I was 14, I liked all black as well. A bit,
it's easy.
yeah, and I had the same reason. I just didn't know what what matches, what fits, how it matches. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought that yeah, black is okay on me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Also, I've noticed that when you go shopping, you don't know what you want, um, like before you come to the shop. As I've seen, um, SEE and SEI, they usually know exactly what they want,
Mm.
even before they go somewhere. And this relates not only for clothes and maybe for food or for anything else. And that makes them strategic. You
Mm.
remember when I asked you about the goal? They just said big goal, I want this, and then
Okay.
they uh, go for shop and they search.
Mhm.
No, that's not good. That not, no. They can decide that um, they buy another thing because they don't see it. They just don't find. But
Mm.
that's how they work. They know what they want before they come there.
Okay. Yeah, that's not me at all.
Yeah. Uh, we NE based types. We can stand in grocery shop and look at big stand of food and don't know what to buy. Like,
Mhm.
uh, what do I want? What do this? This? What do I want?
Yeah.
Do you have like this?
Mhm. And sometimes it's like amazing to me how other people just make decisions so easily all the time, it seems like they just have such a set idea of things.
You mean these SI decisions or any decisions?
I guess the SI decisions. Like
Yeah.
I just don't I can't really imagine being like that myself, I guess.
Hmm. You know, I felt like that once. I have like good period in time when uh, I've had I was eating healthy at that time, and I knew that healthy food in only one part of shop, and I always went to that part. I choose, oh, that's I like, that's I like, that's I like, that, and went home with whole bucket, bag of fruits, and
Yeah, when you were raw vegan.
yeah, or just vegan, or just didn't eat some bad stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm just a vegetarian. Don't
Mm.
eat meat and fish. By the way, do you've tried raw vegan as well, yeah?
Yeah, I was like how you just described during that time as well. Like I just went straight to the organic fruits and vegetables and bought the same stuff that I
Yeah,
liked.
and you got sick of it.
I didn't get sick of it. I followed some unexpected things that came up in my life, and then I just started eating other things again, and it was like uh, matter of convenience, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Like convenience for others.
Hmm, maybe. Well, I mean, like I had moved in with somebody, and I started eating with them.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought of.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. I
Hmm.
think you are IEE. Mm, I don't re- recall anymore these differences that are so obvious between these types. I've asked you about all of them. How do you feel? What do you think?
I think that it makes sense. I do have a couple questions.
Oh, yeah.
So there's, I've noticed that like if I have an experience and somebody helps me with something, then I feel really happy if someone else comes along and they're having difficulty with the same thing that I had difficulty with, and then I can help them with that
Mhm.
thing. And is that contrary in any way to a person who has one-dimensional SI?
No, that's okay. Like, you value SI a lot, and it can be hard for you to remember SI stuff, but you still value it. And if you can help others with this, you will value it in yourself.
Okay. All right. Um, trying to think if I have any other questions.
You said couple.
That was the main thing that I was thinking about just now. Um, so maybe can we talk about the polar function then?
Which? Ah,
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm really interested in typology and all that kind of stuff. And that's, you said that that's from just NE alone, right?
No, that's not from NE alone. That's oh, that's a lot of stuff. That's it depends on how you see it, what mm, how you understand it. You can understand it just as relations, or you can understand it as abstract structure. You know, my friend LAI says others to forget them their type. They have to use socionics as philosophy, and doesn't matter what types are them. Uh, that's so cool. Socionics is a philosophy. You know which perspective he has. So it depends. Mm,
Wow.
oh, he's young. He's 17.
Okay. You had mentioned that there was a certain speaking style that you notice among types, like with the ILA, and also I think you said Sven reminded you of your friend Misha.
Yeah, yeah. Misha,
Do
he's.
you notice like a speaking style among IEEs?
Um, yes, that mm, it's not like so speaking. It's more like their emotional style. They're very hot, They're very like charged. Have has usually a lot of energy, but that doesn't work like anytime. Uh, they tend to, to to be like this, and to not
Mm.
everyone. So, for example, yesterday when I like how I connected to Hangout call and I saw Ben. I was just wow, how emotional he is. And then I remembered that he asked me, is he IEE or EII? And then we discussed it a little, and he's definitely IEE, and his emotions were like this. He also speaks so rapidly and so emotional and so like
Very animated.
yeah. That's a lot like IEE,
Mm.
and we are just speaking uh, normal. That's okay. Happens. Everything
Well,
depends, and everybody can do everything.
hmm
Like maybe SLE is the best in how like 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 influence, and ILE is best in science, and LSI is best at controlling stuff, but everybody can do anything.
mm-hmm. Makes
They're
sense.
just some uh, spheres in life that you have creative potential in, and you also may have talent, and you can have creative potential in everything, but because you have your talent. So when we are talking about practice, it depends on very lot of stuff.
Cool. Um, all right. Well, I'm happy uh, with that explanation. Um, do you have any other? Do you want to do anything else now?
No, I think we can end the recording. Sven, please.